What is going on, all you Pokemon collecting maniacs out there? This is Ryan, the PikaPikaPaPa, and here we are looking at the top 10 singles cards over $20 that have gained the most on TCGPlayer in terms of price over the last month. And the reason I love this list, well, there's a multitude of reasons why I love this list so much, but one of them is that TCGPlayer provides the information for me, right? I don't have to go out and search this. There's no bias to it. This is actually TCGPlayer saying, here's the data, here's what they are, do what you want with it, and I always love producing content around it. And the other thing I love about it is the fact that it comes from TCGPlayer, because I love that website. I love the amount of velocity, the buying and selling that goes on there. And I think anytime we can get a look behind the curtains of what's actually happening there, that gives us an idea of what's happening in the hobby at a more macro level. And that is so critically important. Another thing I love about this video is the diversity, right? A lot of times we get tunnel vision. We get so set on 151, or we get set on, Surging Sparks, or we get set in on these new Scarlet and Violet promos, or whatever it is. We get really tunnel visioned on that. And then TCGPlayer sends us this information. And this list has all kinds of diversity on it. There's 4 Scarlet and Violet cards, 1 Sword and Shield card, 2 Scarlet and Violet promos, 1 Sun and Moon promo, 1 Sword and Shield promo, and even 1 XY promo for the cherry on diversity top right there. So this is just a ton of fun. And the price gains, we do this every single month, but I will tell you this, from a percentage standpoint, the overall growth that we've seen this month compared to other months is insane. There are huge gaudy numbers here, cards that are actually absolutely going crazy in price, and it's going to be a ton of fun to go through this video, and I'm going to do it in just a second. But before I do, as always, we're a small channel, we're trying to grow. I always got to do my selfish plug and just say, hey, if you enjoy it, hit the subscribe button. We do fun stuff like this all the time. If you have questions or comments, drop them down below, and if you don't mind, give us a thumbs up. Those 3 small things go a long way in helping my small channel out, and I really appreciate it. Now that that nonsense is out of the way, let's start looking at these awesome cards. And the very first one we're going to talk about is this Umbreon card. So this is the Sun and Moon promo that I was talking about a minute ago. And you know, every Sunday I do a moving and shakers video. Every single Sunday. It's another list that TCGPlayer pushes to us. And a lot of times that can be a leading indicator for future price appreciation. Well, this card is no different. Maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, I did the video. TCGPlayer had sent the information. They said, hey, listen, you all need to be aware that this card is getting really hot on our website. So we wanted to send this information to you and let you know. And I did the video on that. And the price appreciation ever since then, it is not slowed down. Like in the last month alone, this card is up 20%. It is at $46.72. Now, we know all these videos that we do, we know that evolutions are absolutely hot right now. They are all over the place. They are growing in price like hotcakes. So I was not surprised to see this, but I did think it was really cool to see the connection between the prior couple weeks where we saw this on the movers and shakers video, and now we see it in the top price gainer from TCGPlayer. Just a really cool card and a really cool connective tissue between a couple different videos. Now, the next one we're looking at right here is the Origin Form Dialga, and I've got to be really honest with you. This price graph looks awesome. It's like, oh my God, it's up 24.45%. But if you were to extend it back, guess what? It had crashed down significantly. So this is just a bounce from a crash. And when you see those light blue bars right there, you can see the number of cards that are being purchased per day. And you can see that these are selling with high velocity, because when this card got down to 40 bucks, that's an absolute steal. This card's fire, right? Crown Zenith is absolutely fire. I know that it seems like it's a set that'll never go away. It's being printed and dropped out into oblivion. I get all of that, but still, 40 bucks for this card was a steal. Obviously, I wasn't the only one who thought that, because the price has bounced all the way up 25%, all the way up to $50.79 over the last month. So a really cool card, and I hope a lot of people got to enjoy picking it up at a great bargain, because I do think this card's going to hold its value, at least in the $50 range, pretty well for the future. So next card right here, another card that was on the movers and shakers list. God, I love it when this happens. Is this Jolteon VMAX, right? This is the Sword and Shield promo that's on here. If you remember, this came from a premium collection box. There was a Jolteon, there was a Vaporeon, there was a Flareon, and they were absolutely stunning. The boxes were beautiful. The pack selection was awesome. It had 2 different promo cards, one like this, which was a little more into it, and then there was a VMAX and a V variant. But those boxes were the talk of the town for quite a while. Everybody really liked those boxes. The boxes are doing well. The promo cards are really doing well. They were super hard to get in high grades. I'll tell you right now, I must have had 20 of these come through my hands, this exact card come through my hands over the last couple years, because I would buy them and look at them and try and send them into eBay, or excuse me, send them into PSA to get graded. And I ended up with like 3 PSA 10s out of probably 20 that I ended up pre-screening. So not a bad result. The PSA 10s are going for quite a bit right now, but the raw card is seeing strong price appreciation, up 30% over the last month. It's at $42 right now. Now, you see that light blue line right there. You see that how it spikes up. there was a buyout. Somebody went on TCGPlayer and bought 30 copies of this in a single day. But what's exciting to me is one of the things that we talked about was, can it hold on to the price? And you see there's still light blue bars there. People are buying this at the accelerated price. So I don't know if it'll be able to hold on to it, but it sure is a good sign that after the buyout, it still is able to retain a lot of that big spike. So super interesting. Love this card. And again, just everything about it, from the box it came from to the sister boxes that was around it. Super cool card and absolutely love it. Next one right here. My Pokemon Center exclusive stamped promos. Here is another one right here, the Charmander card from the Obsidian Flames Pokemon Center exclusive ETB. I love those products. I love it because they have these stamped promos. This is another one where somebody went online and bought 10 of them. I don't think 10 is enough to officially call it a buyout, but you do see that somebody went on and bought 10 of them in a single day. However, you see that the prices have continued. I've been buying these. I've been buying these as much as I could, really in the $50 range. So when it was working its way up from $30, $40, $50, I was buying them. I always buy them sealed because I think that there's a better opportunity for good grades, and I'm gonna go through them here soon and send them in and see if I can't squeak out a PSA 10, but these are just as hard as all of the other promos to get in a PSA 10 holder. I think that these cards have a very bright future. I think the Obsidian Flames Pokemon Center exclusive ETB has a very bright future. I love the exclusivity. I love the artwork on this. So I was not surprised to see this one on the list at plus 33%. And guess what? Spoiler alert, you might see another Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer box stamped promo later on in the video. So the next card that we're looking at, there's going to be some 151 on here, like unless you've been sleeping under a Poké Rock, you know that 151 has been going absolutely crazy, and this Bulbasaur card is no different. Look at the volume, look at the price spike. I mean, it is up almost 40% over the last 3 months. I know I normally talk about it in a 1 month span, but look, up almost 40% over the last 3 months, and if you just look at what it's done over the last month, it has gone through the freaking roof. I thought it was really important to call out that this just wasn't some anomaly. 151 is a very special set, filled with very special artwork of some of the best Pokemon as far as I'm concerned ever. And so this set is going to mature really, really well. And again, this was a card that 3 months ago was in the $22 range. Like it was an absolute steal at $22. And now we're starting to see some of that real value unlocked with a big price spike, you know, all the way up to $33.89. So stunner card, really cool to see it on here. And I can't wait to see what 151 has in store for us over the next 3-5 years. That's what I'm most excited about. Forget what's going on now. I want to fast forward 3 years from now and see what the prices are then. Next card right here. Speaking about things that have been going crazy, these prize pack series cards, the EXs, the VMAXs, the Vs, like all of the special ones, they have been going for a freaking mint. When I talked about my top 10 sealed Sword and Shield investments, I did a video on that the other day. Those prize packs were on there for me. Prize pack series 1 are going for like $17, series 2 are going for like $14, but guess what? The cards that are in them, these special, I mean, they are going for ridiculous amounts of money. Like the Darkness Ablaze stamped one. The Darkness Ablaze Charizard is a $30 card, right? You put that stamp on it and guess what? It is now a $400 card. So this Mew, it's just followed suit like all the other ones. It's up almost 54% over the last month, coming in at $62. Now it is starting to work its way back down. One of the things I always say when we're talking about these prize pack series cards is I don't know if it's a fad. I don't know if this is just a phase where everybody loves them now and they're going to be able to, I don't know if they're going to be able to hold their value. That's why we do this channel. That's why we track the data. It's going to be interesting to watch. I'll tell you right now, PikaPikaPaPa, I'm not going out and investing in a lot of these thinking that they're just going to continue on this ridiculously price growth trend. It's just not for me. If you like it for the art, if you like it to complete a collection, no problem. I'm just not personally getting into it because I don't know. I just need to see more time. I need to see if they can hold on to these crazy prices. But this one is already starting to come back down. But no matter what, it's still up 54% over the last month, which is wild. Next card right here. This card is another one, and I hate doing this. This is another one that we identified a very long time ago as a absolute sleeper of a card. So this is an XY promo card. It comes from the red and blue collection, right? And you got Charizard, you got Pikachu, and those boxes go for almost $300 each to begin with. It's from the Generations collection, right? You get 4 Generations packs. You get these promos. The Pikachu promo version of this is like, that is my Grail card. And I know it's stupid to have a card that cheap as a Grail card, but I am absolutely in love with that card, and one of these days I'm going to pull the trigger and buy the card and the box for myself. But this was a card we identified early on as it has a great opportunity to grow. It comes from a very expensive sealed box. Not a lot of people are going to be ripping that $300 box in order to get those 4 Generations packs, right? Promo cards have a very low gem rate. It's a freaking Charizard, and when you look at where this price was, Look at the year graph. This was a $35 card, $40 card for almost all of this year until the market finally caught fire, and this thing has gone up almost 60% over the last year. So it's a great lesson. These are things that I always try and learn when I'm looking at cards like this, and when I say, hey, listen, you know, this could have been a great opportunity. Did I buy any? Of course I didn't. I didn't buy any of them, so I'm guilty of doing it myself, but I thought it was a really cool opportunity just to get some learnings for myself and so for some future purchases further down the road. The next card right here, Tyranitar. Again, I hate this. This is why, you know, a lot of the times I tell people I really love Pokedata.io because, you know, you can filter TCG cards and sales out. You can look strictly at eBay, but this is a card from Paldea Evolved. Paldea Evolved is a wildly popular set. The gem rates are abysmally low. It has some awesome artwork in it between the Tyranitar card and the Raichu. And you got obviously the Magikarp, which is the big chase card, which has stunning art to it. But this is a card where on 10-3 we saw, again, another big buyout. It has a really low gem rate. They bought it out. It went all the way up to $42. But what's interesting is there was another buyout like a week later and 30 copies were bought. So it's been able to retain that $42 price, and it's up 63.7% over the last month. And to be honest with you, I would not be upset if this retained that price point. I really wouldn't. I think the artwork is awesome. Tyranitar is a huge name Pokemon. I think the gem rates in the set being low, and I think the popularity of Paldea Evolved as a whole, it's just got a lot of those intangibles where I look at this card and I'm like, okay, I could see that being a $40 card. I don't like how it got there. That gives me some concern. I don't like that it took a giant buyout and then a subsequent other buyout, you know, to get it there and keep it there. So we'll have to see how this moves over time. But I mean, I'm kind of in I don't know, I'm in a class of one. I would absolutely value this at a $40 card. So it's going to be interesting to see what the market does with it. You know, as a couple more months get ahead of us. The next card right here, card that needs absolutely no introduction, talking about all of the stud cards out there in 151, is this Charizard EX, okay? This card just shot up, I mean, just shot up like overnight. So it's funny, I did a video of this, the top 10 things that I was investing in 151, and I travel for work, so I have to shoot things in advance. I'm shooting this in advance. You'll watch this days after I actually shoot it. But I did one on 151, and I shot it like days before everything started to spike up. So I shot it when this card was at 150 bucks. Now it's at $200. But what's interesting is it was at 220. It's starting to come back down a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, if this card can maintain that north of $200 price point. I will tell you this, I think it is certainly more valuable than 150 bucks. 151 is going to be a set for the ages. The Charizard card is always going to be the chase card. Charizard is always the most popular Pokemon. Like, the artwork on here is stunning. Everything in the world to love you could is all in this card. So I'm not hating it at $200, but I am going to keep an eye on it. If it gets back down into the 150 range or somewhere like that, I guarantee you that I will be pulling the trigger on it. So really interesting to see how this one is going to kind of trend out over the next couple months as well. Next one right here, I told you there was going to be another stamp promo card, and here you have it, the Snorlax from the 151 Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer Box, and it is absolutely bonkers to me to look at this card coming in at almost $100. And again, look at the light blue lines. It's selling. It's not like there was one or two sales that spiked this up. I mean, that is a natural, organic sale pattern. People are buying it, and it's just growing in price. It's going to be something really special. I've said this a million times over, but when you think about the Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes for the earlier Scarlet and Violet era sets, it's going to be the rarer sealed product. It's going to be rarer than booster boxes, even for 151, right? It's going to be rarer than the Ultra Premium Collection boxes. Ultra Premium Collection boxes you could get at Walmart and Target and your local game store. You could get them anywhere. Like, these Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs were only available at the Pokemon Center, which isn't available to the whole world. They were in stock. They immediately went out of stock. Any small restock gets picked up like that. So I do think that the Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes have a very bright future. And obviously this card's going to be a big part of it. And I'm very, very happy because I love this card. I got a couple in PSA 10s. You guys know that whenever a new Pokemon Center exclusive ETB comes out, I always rip two of them open. Well, each of my daughters rips one open. We send the promo card out to get graded. So I was very fortunate to get this, both of these back in PSA 10s. And I do think it's going to be fascinating to see how the rarest sealed product from one of the very best sets in recent memory is going to perform over the long run, because it is an Elite Trainer box, right? Because it's not a booster box. I'm interested to see how that tracks. Now, that's it, everybody. Those are the top 10 cards that have moved the most on TCGPlayer from a price perspective over the last month. Now, some of them are driven by buyouts, some of them are driven by popularity. It is going to be fascinating to see which of these can actually hold on to those prices that we have seen. But as I said, huge movements. I mean, we started off at plus 20%. We ended up at plus 77%. There is a lot of money exchanging hands in the Pokemon market right now, and that makes me really, really happy. So if you made it to the end of this video, if you like this type of content, we obviously do it all the time, Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you see. And if you have questions or comments, drop them down below. I appreciate you more than I can say. I hope you have a good one. Talk to you soon, everybody. Bye.